Did you know that not being able to make a decision can actually cause more stress than making the wrong choice? Every day, we're faced with countless decisions, both big and small. From what to wear in the morning to major life choices like changing jobs, the decisions we make, or fail to make, can really affect our lives. But what happens when we have so many decisions to make that we start to feel tired and stuck? Today, we're diving into the world of indecision and decision fatigue, and exploring why sometimes the act of making a decision is more important than the decision itself. Welcome to our channel. In today's video, we're talking about something we all struggle with: making decisions. Whether it's choosing what to eat for dinner or making a big life change, the pressure to make the right choice can be intense. But here's the thing: indecision doesn't just steal our time. It can also drain our mental energy, leading to what psychologists call decision fatigue. And the more decisions we face, the more tired we become, which only makes it harder to make the next choice. So why does this happen? And what can we do about it? Stick around as we break down the science behind indecision and decision fatigue, and offer some tips on how to reclaim your mental clarity. Let's start with indecision. Indecision is when you can't make a choice because you're unsure or afraid of making the wrong decision. This can happen for a lot of reasons, like fear of failure, wanting things to be perfect, or not having enough information. Imagine you're at a restaurant, and the menu has lots of yummy options. You might find yourself stuck between choosing pasta or steak, worried that you'll regret your choice. This is a common example of indecision. Another situation could be spending hours browsing online, but in the end, you buy nothing. That's indecision too. It's that feeling of being stuck, unable to move forward because the fear of making the wrong choice is just too great. Daniel Kahneman, who wrote the famous book Thinking Fast and Slow, explains that our minds are wired to avoid losses more than we seek gains. This phenomenon, known as loss aversion, often leads us to overthink our decisions, paralyzing us in the process. Nothing in life is as important as you think it is while you are thinking about it, Kahneman reminds us. The funny thing is, our anxiety about making the wrong choice often causes us more stress than the consequences of the decision itself. Things get even trickier in today's world because we often have a huge number of options to choose from. This is called the paradox of choice, as Barry Schwartz calls it, and it can be overwhelming. The more options we have, the harder it is to make a decision. We fear that by choosing one option, we're missing out on something better. This fear of missing out, or FOMO, makes it even harder to settle on a choice. But here's where it gets even more complicated. Even after we make a decision, we might still feel unsure. This is called post-decision regret, where we question if we made the right choice. Kahneman calls this hindsight bias, our tendency to think that the past was more predictable than it really was. The idea that the future is unpredictable is undermined every day by the ease with which the past is explained. He writes, "This bias can make us overly critical of our decisions, making us even more scared of making mistakes and getting stuck in the cycle of indecision." Indecision doesn't just waste our time, it can also make us miss out on great opportunities. The longer we hesitate, the more likely we are to let opportunities slip through our fingers. This is particularly true in situations where timing is everything, like applying for a job, investing in a business, or even seizing a moment to connect with someone. Now let's talk about decision fatigue. Decision fatigue is real and happens when you've had to make too many decisions in a short period. Your mental energy gets used up, and that makes you more likely to make poor choices and feel more stressed. Kahneman explains that our brains have two systems of thinking. System 1, which is fast, automatic, and based on intuition, and System 2, which is slower, more deliberate, and takes more effort. When we have to make decision after decision, our System 2 becomes overwhelmed, so we start relying more on System 1. This can lead to making impulsive, less thought-out choices, or worse, avoiding decisions altogether. The result? We get more stressed, anxious, and burned out. For example, after a long day of work filled with meetings and choices, you might find yourself too exhausted to decide what to have for dinner. As a result, you might end up ordering takeout, even if you had healthier options in mind. This shows how the quality of our decisions goes down when we're mentally drained. So, what's the solution? How do we break free from the cycle of indecision and decision fatigue? The key insight here is that making a decision, even if it's the wrong one, can be more beneficial than making no decision at all. We can be blind to the obvious, and we are also blind to our blindness, Kahneman says. In other words, the fear of making a mistake can often prevent us from seeing the bigger picture. Now let's explore some practical tips to handle indecision. Number 1, set a time limit for decisions. Give yourself a specific amount of time to make a choice. This can help stop you from overthinking and push you to decide. Number 2, prioritize your choices. Focus on what truly matters. Not every decision requires the same level of thought. By prioritizing, you can save your mental energy for the more important choices and avoid decision fatigue. Number 3, limit your options. Too many choices can lead to paralysis. Remember, indecision is the inability to make a choice often caused by fear of failure or perfectionism. By narrowing down your options, you can make the decision-making process less overwhelming. Number 4, take small steps. Instead of trying to make a big decision all at once, break it down into smaller, manageable steps. This approach can help you feel more in control and less pressured to make the perfect choice. Number 5, reflect on past decisions. Consider what worked and what didn't in your past choices. This can give you valuable insights and help you feel more confident in future decisions. Now let's talk about some tips to fight decision fatigue. Number 1, establish routines. Creating daily routines can minimize the number of decisions you need to make. For example, if you always eat the same breakfast, you save mental energy for more important choices later in the day. This helps fight the mental tiredness that comes with decision fatigue. Number 2, automate decisions. For tasks you do often, try to automate your choices. This could be as simple as planning your meals for the week or using a calendar app to schedule your tasks. By doing this, you can reduce the chance of making poor decisions when you're overwhelmed. Number 3, limit decision-making time. Just like with indecision, setting a time limit can help you make faster choices and lighten your mental load. Remember, the quality of decisions goes down when you're mentally tired, so don't be afraid to move on once you've made a choice. Number 4, take breaks. Give yourself time to recharge. Stepping away from decision-making can help clear your mind and recharge your mental energy, making it easier to tackle choices when you return. This is crucial in avoiding decision fatigue. Number 5, practice mindfulness. Doing mindfulness exercises like meditation or deep breathing can help reduce stress and improve your focus. This can make it easier to get through decisions without feeling overwhelmed by overthinking or indecision. To sum it up, indecision and decision fatigue are two sides of the same coin. Both can leave us feeling stuck, stressed, and overwhelmed. But by understanding the psychological forces at play, we can start to take back control of our decision-making process. Remember, making a decision, even if it's not the perfect one, is better than staying stuck in a state of indecision. Every choice you make is an opportunity to learn, grow, and move forward. So don't be afraid to take that first step. Your future self will thank you. Now it's your turn. Have you ever struggled with indecision or decision fatigue? How did it affect your life, and what strategies did you use to overcome it? Share your experiences in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep making those empowered choices.